So Brendan Schaub has been promoting a fight companion for the Roughnrowdy event that's supposed to go down in partnership with Barstool Sports. And he has been advertising that event with this video ad. And because Theo Von and Joey Diaz were going to be the biggest guests on that show, a lot of people were speculating that both of them were actually going to pull out before the event because it's happened before. And well, just recently, Brendan Schaub announced that Joey Diaz was not going to make it to the show and he had to find a replacement. That obviously started to raise some questions whether this whole thing was even real or not. And oh man, do we have something very interesting, because Dave Portnoy, the president of Barstools, just had a podcast with Theo Von, and they talked about the event, and it sounded like Theo Von wasn't even aware that he was on the event. It's insane. So let's get right into it.
A busy day. We're doing Roughnrowdy, which you're doing the stream with, right?
I think so.
I've seen your face in the flyer.
So he's probably doing it.
We'll see.
I don't know. He gave me a little.
He's thinking about it.
He's like, are the numbers not right? What's going on? Are you doing the stream? No.
I don't know. I didn't make that deal. I don't know. I just got put on the flyer, I guess. I don't know.
Schaub. I saw it's Schaub. It's your face. Who are the other two faces on that flyer? Do you know the flyer I'm talking about?
It's Joey Diaz, but he got replaced. And then Rampage Jackson.
Is Theo's face still on the flyer?
Yeah.
Plastered all over the flyer.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know a lot about this. I will look into it, though. I appreciate it.
Well, you appreciate it. We didn't. It wasn't through us.
Oh, well, it wasn't through me. That's what I'm saying. I feel like this is like we're being trafficked, bro. I don't know how this is happening, son. That's
so.
What I'm
Do
saying.
I have your permission to just put your face on any flyer that I want?
Yeah, look, I'll take the pub, but I didn't do it. Now, Roughnrowdy, and that's where you guys and these are just Amazon drivers and stuff, and what they just beat each other.
And before we continue, if you guys can do me a huge favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It helps out a ton, and we are so close to getting to 20,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate that. Thank you. Obviously, from that clip, you can tell that Theo Von was not aware that he was even in the event. I'm pretty sure Theo and Brendan Schaub are still pretty good friends, so he just went very easy on him. Even Dave Portnoy was a bit confused. He made it very clear that, hey, it wasn't us who just used the flyer, it was Brendan Schaub. And then Theo Von said, I'll look into it. Just the fact that Theo Von wasn't aware of how the events worked or how the streams were going to be working together was a clear indication that he was not talked about. He didn't talk about that with Brendan Schaub at all. And in my opinion, I think there's two possible scenarios in this case. Number one is Brendan Schaub probably mentioned that or brought it up to Theo Von. Theo Von maybe responded in a positive way, hinting towards maybe a yes, and then Brendan Schaub ran with that. The other option would be that maybe it wasn't even Brendan Schaub and it was a mistake made by Mark Harley, his social media handler, because obviously this was posted on the Instagram page. So the question is Theo Von going to be there or is he pulling out?
Big Cat, Robbie Fox announced it, and then we're doing you are doing a side stream with it. So when you can watch it and then you announce it or comment, kind of like the Manning cast, for ESPN. Okay. Yeah. So you, Schaub, all those guys, it's gonna be great. So
are you doing a live stream of it too?
We're the announcers for the actual event,
which people will be able to watch live.
Yeah, they
Correct.
stream it.
And you're going to watch it live, Theo, and people can see you commenting on it.
Mm-hmm.
But how do they how do they watch two things at one time?
I think what they would do if they were interested in you is they buy your stream and ours, turn the volume down on ours, watch it, but listen to you.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
now keep in mind that it's giving a lot of charity to Brendan Schaub, because if they were not friends, if Theo Von and Brendan Schaub were not friends, lawyers could get involved. How are you going to be selling an event, a potential huge event, and using my face, or in this case, using Theo Von's face, and not tell him about it? Because is he getting paid? Did he give his consent for even what pictures, what marketing to be used? Because honestly, just looking at the picture ad, Theo Von doesn't look like Theo Von, so I think that's pretty hilarious. And it makes you think, this is pure speculation, but what if the whole Joey Diaz thing was also a lie and Joey Diaz was not even aware that this event was going down? Obviously, that's a huge reach, but who knows at this point?
And we have a change in the lineup, and it breaks my heart to say this, but don't worry, I'm making it up to you guys. Joey Diaz cannot leave New Jersey. His book is dropping, and he messed up his schedule, so he can't come out to LA on that Friday and make it happen. So I called up another big dog. I went, all right, Joey, I'll figure it out. And we have Donald Cowboy Cerrone filling in for the great Joey Go Diaz. You got Donald Cerrone, one of the very best to ever grace that UFC octagon, his WC days. He's a living legend, and he is filling in. So you have Donald Cerrone, Rampage Jackson, Theo Vaughn, and my thick ass Friday at 5 p.m. live on Thick Boy YouTube. And then Saturday, you have UFC 282, the big boy pay-per-view in Las Vegas. And your main event is Paddy Pimblett. That's a people's main event. Let's be real, versus Jared Gordon. And then you have Jan Blachowicz and...
Now this is where things get very interesting, because the clip I'm about to show you is from a Tim Dillon, Dave Portnoy podcast, in which they both talked about how Brendan Schaub lied to them both about a podcast that was supposed to go down. Let's take a look.
Theo Vaughn's podcast. I'm like, sure, I'll do it. I showed up to the Theo Vaughn podcast. It just wasn't his podcast. So it came on. I was like, where's Theo? And they're like, well, he's not here. It's like, that's weird. It's his. But it was a totally different podcast. So I didn't care. I was just confused.
Right. No, it's funny because I just thought Brendan Schaub was lying because Brendan lies a lot. So I thought Brendan had just made something up because Brendan's like, oh, yeah, Portnoy on. It's going to be great. I'm like, he knows it's us. He goes, yeah, he's really excited about it. So he's just making things up. So that's all I was talking about on my show is how hilarious, because you were like, what the is going on? You're like, why am I talking to these?
Basically, Brendan Schaub told Dave Portnoy that he would be doing a King in the Sting podcast with Brendan Schaub himself and Theo Vaughn. So that was what Dave had agreed to. Obviously, he himself said that he wasn't mad about it. He was just confused that, you know, he got there and Theo Vaughn was not there, and it was Tim Dillon and Brendan Schaub. Tim Dillon, though, said that Brendan Schaub lies a lot. And obviously, if you know Brendan Schaub, that's not new to you. Obviously, he lies. However, this event is a bit more interesting because we have clear video evidence of Theo Vaughn being completely clueless about the event that he was supposed to be on, that Brendan Schaub was heavily pushing. Not only was there an Instagram video, but those ads, the Roughnrowdy ads, were in The Fighter and the Kid and on the Thick Boy Network channel. So those things were getting blasted everywhere. But I don't know. I thought this one was pretty interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is Theo Vaughn going to address this? Is he going to talk to Brendan Schaub behind the scenes? Is he going to make it to the event? We'll see what happens. Should be pretty interesting. I'll keep you guys posted for that. So make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We are so close to getting to that 20,000 subscribers, and I really appreciate that. Dislike if you didn't like the video, but that is all we have for today. See ya.